Enough with the shenanigans. That's the fragrance of the day, and it's not day any longer. I've been thinking for the last couple of hours about what's going on those YouTube streets with ABBA and Preach and the Fresh and Fit guys. And the Fresh and Fit guys are respectfully clowns. They respectfully are guys that found a niche. They found out that, like I told my brother when he was like, 20 something years old, I says, Rob, and we're only going to call him Rob for this here because that's not really his name. I'm just throwing his name out there like that. And I would say, Rob, you need to work out on your arms. Women love arms. And he was like, nah, I don't want to look like those guys. I don't want to be like those guys. And I'm like, dude, it's just like, it's simple math. Women like arms. You give the women what they want. And he refused to do it. And these guys figured out that if I work out on my arms and I keep my hairline fresh, I can get girls. So they created a whole show wrapped around that concept. So we have Fresh and Fit, arguably, are two simps that figured out that they don't want to be simps anymore. They don't want to be cornballs any longer. It's really cool when you can say that to yourself, like, I'm a cornball. I don't want to be a cornball any longer. I don't want to be a cornball anymore. And you now have this opportunity with this technology to create these platforms where you can seriously, put your ideas and thoughts out there for the world and grab hold of these people. The thing is, of course, integrity and, capping and all that kind of stuff. And, what you're going to do if you're trying to create content and then you have all that morality kind of thing that gets in the way, where you start to say to yourself, man, do I say these things? Is it making sense? Is this, where's this going to take me to the next level and how? And we have these Fresh and Fit guys, they figured out if we can get pretty girls to show up, then we can get guys to subscribe, and they will then hit the Patreon, and they will, it's like, it's the new grift. And I think it's kind of like, I love it. I think it's brilliant, and it's not about that concept, get your paper, because I'm not all about, doing anything for money. The hell with that. There has to be some sort of, you have to be able to have some sort of integrity. I just don't respect anybody who's out there doing whatever it takes to get money. Forget about that. I only respect the people that are using their damn brains and have that hustle spirit. Always is attractive. But we have these two guys from Canada, Alba and Preach, who reviewed an episode on the Fit and Fresh from a couple of months back and got some heat for it on some, like, they're clout chasing because they created this episode which was like so old and so long ago. But if we think about the internet and what it represents a culture or a perspective where we should, this is much nicer than my face. We created a culture, or at least technologies allowed us to have things that never go away. So these things are never going to go away. So we can talk about them at any time, any point. There's not going to be a time where we can't look back at something and then have an open discussion on it months and months later. And that's one of the things that I liked about ABBA and Preach, is because they were talking about TV shows from other countries that were already in their, final season, and they're talking about season 1, season 2, where they had a conversation. Maybe it only lasted 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. It was like a filler to another conversation. But I think it's relevant. We cannot be on the internet creating content and then not expect people to then speak on the content we created, whether it was last week, last month, or 2 years ago. And the fact that these fresh and fit guys are upset is a tell. It's a tell on their integrity. It's a tell on what their belief systems are, and it shows it shows a hypersensitive the Brooklyn Bridge as of late has had like horrible cells. So I mean, but let me just say this: Alba and Preach need not to go to the States for any drama, especially bringing that drama to Florida to those Native men who created a show that is them recognizing who they were and who they are and trying to school men not to be like who they were and who they are. Let me concentrate again here. Okay. So what I'm saying is, Preach, I know you're coming to the States. I get that. And I get that this young man decided to talk badly about your wife. Or at least he made some sort of, at least let y'all look at this. He said something about your wife and how large she possibly is, because in his mind, he's made up in his mind the person that you are, or at least the type of wife you have. And people that do stuff like that are truly not worth your time. Don't go out there looking to slap anybody around, because you're going to get sucker punched from some little skinny dude, and you're not going to even see it coming. It ain't worth it. And they're going to get it on YouTube. And you guys could probably reap the repercussions of that could be even you losing your channel. Okay? And and the whole idea of fighting the person, I like that idea because there's a lot of money involved nowadays in the fighting. YouTube versus TikTok and all this kind of stuff. All this kind of things are happening out there, and I like that because it's truly the little guy getting his come up. But as far as you going down to a state and thinking that you're going to go to somebody's home court and have the upper hand because you're stronger, faster, all those things doesn't mean anything. None of that stuff means anything. You are now have to recognize, and I'm talking about Abba and Preach at the moment. Abba and Preach, you gentlemen need to understand that you are public figures. Okay? And being that you're public figures, people are going to say stuff that you're not going to like. stuff about your family, stuff about your wife, stuff that are not even true. These are ideas in people's heads of what your family looks like and how your life is. We can't change people's ideas in their heads about how they feel about you. It's not possible. You'll be fighting your whole life. There was a time in my life where, you know, I was in situations where I felt that this person thought I was a punk. This person really is trying to play me. They think I'm a punk. And I'm going to now then prove to these people that I don't even know that I'm not the person that I think they think I am. And I spent a lot of hard knock life. I spent a huge part of my life living the hard knock life. And it wasn't worth it in any way, shape, or form. No, never. It was never worth it. So all I'm saying is, don't come down to Miami with the idea that you are going to use this bravado, use this ego mindset, reptilian brain, frontal lobe way of the Neanderthal way of dealing with things. That's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to even feed the ego. Let's remember what Carlito said to his attorney, Kleinfeld, in the movie A Bronx Tale. It was not A Bronx Tale, not Carlito's Way. And he said, pride is going to kill you faster than a bullet. Pride. That pride is no joke. Stay away from the pride. Stay away from the people that are trying to egg you on. And I'm sure you got people that are willing to meet you out there in Miami and hold you down that you don't even know. They like, yo, dude, I got your back. You don't have anything to worry about. Come down here, you good. We'll ride with you. We'll show them. No. You don't want to do that. You have nothing to prove to these two simps that grifted their way to a happier life than they would ever have had. I mean, the guy is like losing all the hair in the front of his head, talking about, he gets more haircuts than everybody around him. I mean, any man who would talk about how many haircuts they got, they better be from Washington Heights in New York, or they're truly, truly beta. You getting a lot of haircuts should speak for itself. It shouldn't be something that you have to then let people know how you get down. That's just silliness. So I just thought I would take a moment and preach, do not come down to the States looking to slap anybody around. Don't do that. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I'll let you get a little bit of the sights before I say goodbye. So if you're a little bit tired of all the shaking that this camera does and all the way that it's so unprofessional, you know, to make me a better YouTuber, that's $ Elvis dash Rosenberg on the Cash App. You are appreciated. Preach. That simp ain't worth it. And I say that respectfully. He's not worth the slap. Because if you punch him, you'll be doing him a favor. He gets to see what a punch is like across the jaw, whether or not he could take it or not. That dude, you gotta slap him down. Treat him like the dog. Like, not even the dog. You don't even slap dogs anymore. But definitely, he's only worth a slap, and he's not worth you going over there for that. You all appreciate it. Thank you for tuning into my little channel. Big Elvis the Chef Rosenberg. I am here. Boom.